Fantasy X. So I'm just pretty much starting this video again from where I left off on the last video. So just to get you up to speed, this guy Titus was sucked into something called sin, and he's now he found himself in a temple, an abandoned temple, and then these guys come and rescued him. But now they're making him work to keep his place here. So a little tip here: talk to this guy. We'll give you 3 potions. Now, just a little thing. In the old version of this game, there was a glitch where you could run into, speak to that guy, run into the water, and then come back onto the ship, speak to him again. He would give you more potions, and if you had the patience, you could pretty much max out your potions from him. But I think they've sorted that glitch with the HD version, so you can't do that anymore. So that's a bit of a bummer. Just talk to. Oh, now you get the little tutorial of the spear grid. So I will impatiently run through it, but the sphere grid is the way of leveling up on this game, and how it works. Your sphere grid is just full of various different upgrades, and you upgrade them by getting AP and then moving your character along the sphere grid and activating the nodes next to them, so that and that's how they strengthen up. So this will just go through that you just move character depending on how many sphere levels you're at. I am sorry, I'm going to impatiently rush through this. Now, the sphere grid they're using for the example is not the same sphere grid that I use. I choose to use the expert sphere grid, but this one is the beginner sphere grid. If you're quite new to this game, then yes, stick with the beginner sphere grid, but it's not that difficult to use. There's not really much else to say about it other than just once you get the hang of it, it's easy, and I'll show you the expert sphere grid. Oh yeah, you need various different types of spheres to activate different kinds of spheres on the grid. You've got 4 basic types. You've got power, mana, speed, and ability. So power spheres activate things like strength, defense, and hit points. Mana spheres activate magic points, magic and magic defense, and speed spheres activate accuracy, agility, and evasion. And abilities just unlock the abilities, speak for themselves. You also will later on get something called luck spheres. They activate fortune nodes on the sphere grid. That's something to worry about much later on in the game. But that's the basics of the sphere grid. So Titus has 1 AP to activate. So this is how big the sphere grid is. So I've got an ability sphere, so I can activate this one, cheer. And that gives you gives Titus the ability to increase the party's strength and defense in the middle of a battle, and depending on characters' base stats should determine which path you take them on. Now, Tidus's best things are high strength, and then pretty good defense, agility, pretty good speed stats. So best thing to do, take him up this way. We can't activate that one till we get a power sphere, but we should get that when we start fighting. So
we found some ancient ruins right beneath us. It's not active now, but there should still be some power left. We're gonna go down there and activate it. And then we should be able to salvage the big prize. Okay, let's get to work.
Roger.
So, a little bit of brief history of the Albed. They're basically like a race of people that are obsessed with machines and mechanical stuff, and they work with all sorts of technological stuff. Like they'll salvage machine parts and use them for building all kinds of stuff. Speed sphere, not really what I wanted. I wanted a power sphere, but it's a start. So yeah, you can swim around here and get in as many fights as you like and do some bit of grinding for some of those spheres. Also, because you have this steal ability with Rikku just now. Oh, sorry, I was giving away her name is Rikku. You can steal some grenades to use in battle. But grenades you can only use if you have the special use ability, and at the moment she's the only one that's got it just now. Now I'm just going to run back up, see if this potion glitch still works, or if it's no, return.
We'll go as soon as you're ready.
So let's try talking to him again. Oh, yay, it does work. Yep. Okay, let's spam that a couple of times and we can get ourselves some extra potions. The only enemies here are just those silly fish things. Any piranhas, just steal grenades from them, and they're pretty much one-hit kills. And if you find yourself low on HP, just run back up to the ship, hit the save point, and then you can cure yourself. Ooh, power sphere, that's what we needed. So let's activate that defense node. And Tidus defenses have increased by 1. Yay. And another power sphere, and then we can activate Riku's hit points. At the moment she's just called question mark. But she will get her name properly, and I've already said it's Rikku. So I just do. This is what I like to do in these games. Just swim around, getting into as many fights as I can to get some AP and also to help get some spheres as well, so that we're ready for all the possible activations of all the stat nodes and stuff. Although the enemies here don't really have a huge amount of... they don't give away a huge amount of AP, so it's... you'll be farming for a little while before you can get a... you can activate your nodes. But it's worth it. It really just depends how patient you are. Let me just check how far is he away from... he's like 4 AP, so might as well just run around swimming until he can get activate his next node. Plus it doesn't hurt to steal extra grenades. Oh, and an overkill. Now, overkills are brilliant because they increase the amount of AP you'll get after a battle, and plus they'll double the amount of items you can receive at the end of a battle, so it's always worth trying to overkill an enemy. There's various sort of algorithms how they work out the how many hit points you have to take off in order to get an overkill. But in general, if you get at this early stage, if you get a critical hit, then that's usually a guaranteed overkill. But in some cases it's like, I think it's something like about 50% of the something like 50% of what the monster's base hit points are.
We'll go as soon as you're ready.
If you take that off as oh, it's complicated. Hey, more potions. But this, yeah. I will look it up properly and explain it better. I'm not really doing a very good job of it right now, so I'm just thinking of just spamming that guy to get loads more potions, because they're the best way of healing just now. Oh yeah, I should have hit the save point to... should have hit the save point to heal Titus up, but what I'm going to do instead is go to the next screen and then come back and then just do the potion trick again. And yet, normally I would kind of do most of the grinding off camera, but
We'll go as soon as you're ready.
I'm just doing this to show you how I play this game, and so 24 potions is good to start with, so let me move Titus along a little bit and activate. That's a speed, so that's agility. Agility is what determines like how fast a player is in battle, and sort of determines how often they can hit I'd best to show you when I get into a battle. But the battle system of this game. Oh, well, and now's a perfect time. So you see that bar on the right hand side. That's basically sort of a lineup of. It's kind of like the battle schedule. So when a character's got high hit agility, their icon will appear more frequently, and that means they can get more moves in a battle, which in general just usually means it doesn't mean too much, but when you get into later levels, into boss battles, when you're going to be hitting the enemy more frequently, if you've got high agility, then a particular character can get more attacks in a single battle, and so high agility is good for that. What's also good with doing a lot of getting into a lot of fights just now is that we'll get Tidus's overdrive gauge up a little bit, because there's a boss battle at the end of this, and having a full overdrive gauge would certainly help in a boss battle, because it's a very powerful attack, obviously. Right, I'm just going to go move the story on, so just follow this. So just keep, if you press the B button down and just keep going down, follow that chain, and that'll take you to where you've got to go. Once you reach that chain, you'll get into this these salvaged ruins. It's just basically a big underwater base, but it's quite important for the story later on, because apparently all its security systems just work by bashing computer screens. Let's move on through here to the flashing X. And oh, there's more piranhas to fight. I think I might use a grenade because it will hit all of the fish there. Ooh, and an overkill. Beautiful. Now that's handy, except if a character doesn't do any actions in a battle, they won't get any AP. And as it just happened, Tidus didn't get any hits in, so nope. There we go. Tidus didn't get any hits in, so he didn't get any AP for that battle, so that's just something important to point out for later on in the game when you're doing if you're doing a bit of grinding for AP and stuff. And ooh, a big octopus. It's waiting for you at the end of this tunnel. But here he is. Ambushed, how rude. So, I'm gonna use Rikku to steal from this thing. I'm gonna do a couple of cheers to increase our defense and our strength, particularly Tidus's strength, because he's the main attacker. You can steal from enemies multiple times, but the more times you steal, the less likely you are to steal, if that makes any sense. So the first time you use steal on an enemy, you're guaranteed to steal an item. The second time you've got like a 50% chance, then it's the third time you've got a 25% chance, and so on and so on. So yeah, the more frequently you steal from an enemy, the less likely you are to steal an item. So just be wary of that. I'm just gonna get Rikku to chuck grenades at this thing. And ooh, nice. He's aiming for 200. So, because Riku's strength isn't great right now, just get her to chuck grenades at this thing. This is why stealing all those grenades before you got here was handy. Out of attack range. Now, in some certain battles you get these things called trigger commands, where you can press the left cursor button and you get an extra action, and you can do what? Stand by. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good to cure. But that Nautilus charge is a hard hitter, so that kind of helped. So I'll get back to attacking. Is he going to swim away again? Yes, he is. Stand by. A pincer attack. Now this is where both Rikku and Tidus swim both ends, both sides of him, and so because Tidus is behind them, he should be able to hit it a bit stronger. Well, obviously that didn't work that time. And that he's shaking, he's dead. There we go, that wasn't too difficult a boss battle. And oh look, there's a big hole blown out the side of the... Oh. And Tidus has leveled up again. Now there's no treasure chests in here, so just swim out that hole. And that's this part of the game done. Now you've got to swim up for next, so not quite out of the water yet. Ooh, it's all shiny now. Still amazes me that Tidus and Rikku can stay underwater this long, and they've just got like incredible lung capacity. So there's all the other Albed coming down to help salvage their ruins. Not really much point swimming around trying to fight again. I know Tidus leveled up, and I will get back to the sphere grid in a second. Ooh, it's like a big ship. Speaking of big ships. So, not much else is going to happen now, just get a little cutscene. Oh, how convenient the word for airship in Albed is airship.
Hey! Hey, I helped out, didn't I? Hungry.
Ooh.
Whoa! Right on.
Hey! It's 'cause you eat too fast.
Yep. Fortunately, there's no Rennies in their inventory, so.
Hey!
Hello there. What is your name?
Rikku?
Whoa! You really do understand. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Well, wasn't that funny?
Why didn't you say so earlier?
I didn't get a chance to. Everyone thought we were a fiend.
We?
Oh, we means you.
Who are you guys anyway?
We're Albed. Can't you tell? Wait, you're not an Albed hater, are you?
I don't even know what an Albed is.
Where are you from?
Xanarkand. I'm a blitzball player. Star player of the Xanarkand Abes.
Did you hit your head or something?
You guys hit me?
Oh, right. Do you remember anything before that?
So I told her everything there was to tell about Xanarkand. About life there, Blitzball, and Sin's attack. And about how Aaron and I were engulfed in this light. I just said things as they came to mind. But then I started to wonder. Did I say something funny?
You were near Sin. Don't worry, you'll be better in no time. They say your head gets funny when Sin is near. Maybe you just had some kind of dream?
You mean I'm sick?
Because of Sin's toxin, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, there is no Xanarkand anymore. Sin destroyed it 1,000 years ago. So,
What?
no place Blitzball there.
Huh? What do you mean, 1,000 years ago? But I saw Sin attack Xanarkand. You're saying that happened 1,000 years ago? No way!
Yes, way. Right, I'm going to end this broadcast now. I'm going to save the game, and get ready for the next part of the story. So, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again for the next video.